Good morning and welcome to New and Old. I'm just going to do a quick update, one for the new members and the team who are active. Be nice. Thank you for saying hello to a couple of new members. I've actually opened the course for another 10 students. I think we've already filled it up. Another challenge. So if you've had some success, let people know. There's some of the new folk. But as again, usual, I do put a lot of stuff into this WhatsApp group. I have added a load of new videos, especially on how to navigate yourself around the exchange that we're using. So that's lots of good stuff. There's more to come. I'm going to be a lot more active now that winter's here. And I say winter, it was 33 degrees yesterday. But the pool isn't heated. So, my days of jumping in the pool are going to be hindered. Now, Bitcoin, this is the BTC USDT or BTC US dollar chart over on Bybit. And I'm using TradingView. There's some teach you how to set this up in the course, and I'm just going to run through exactly the core pillars, which are all in the course. But I'm just going to go through just how quick you can do this. It's not a lot of time. Some of you are active and you're on it every day, and some of you haven't got that kind of time. So this is either way. I'm actually on the 4 hour time frame up here. You can set these time frames. Again, I go into this on the course. So let's just have a quick look where we are. So in the dead of night, 1 o'clock in the morning, today, we had this Jesus candle, all right? Nice big fat candle, taking us out of this range. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the daily. So we start on the daily to give us a bigger perspective of where we are in the great scheme of things. And you can see here that we are on a pretty downward trajectory. And I'm just going to draw some horizontal lines because what I'm going to do, so we know the overall trend is down. Okay, the one indicator that I've got on this chart is this 200 period moving average. Okay, and you can see it's sloping down and it's red. Now, which gives us an overall bearish trend. Okay, now the candles themselves, I've got another indicator on here which is just effectively changes the colors of the candles to show me where the high volume is. High volume is where lots of participants in the market, and they tend to be red, orange candles. And when there's lower participation, the candles turn green and average green, really, and then down to blue, where there's very low volume. At the bottom, we just have volume bars, and they're just red and green, showing how the candle closed. You can see we've had high volume, pushing the price down, bearish, and then we've just had this nice green volume, and the price has moved up. But you can see, in the great scheme of things, we are still bearish. Now, this is on the daily. So the first thing is establishing the trend. So the daily trend is down, and the 4 hour, you can see, if I reset the chart, we've had this sort of nice move upwards. But for those of you that follow the core pillars, let's just establish some levels. It's all about support and resistance. It's not difficult. So this is my menu here. I've got a floating menu here. In the course, I can show you how to get this menu, but it's pretty easy. I'm just going to put a horizontal line on. Just going to lock this. Okay, and establish some levels. So below us and above us. I'm going to include this one here. Okay, so 3 lines, that's it. All I've done is I've put on some lines that interact with the previous price action, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to establish a range, because the next part is we're really looking for structure. So structure. And what is the structure? Well, we're just ranging really, and most of the time Bitcoin will range. It will just range between a high and a low, and right now we're sort of in this range. What I mean by that is if I just show you, we go up to this range, up to the top, down to the bottom, we came up to this here, down to the bottom, and now we're maybe coming up to test the top of this range at 22. Until we break it, and then we might come back down and range between here for a while before we break it again, and we'd start tackling this 200 period moving average. So that all looks good. I'll delete this. So we've got this range, and now we're looking, so this is part of the structure as well. So structure and the range within that structure we've established. Now let's go down to the 4 hour. Reset the chart. So we're zooming in. We're zooming in. Most of the time, you see these structures. These are all these structures here. They like to form different shapes and all kinds of, but essentially they're just ranges. And I'm just going to put another, I'm going to look for some more structure. So as I said, there's some structure here. You can see how we had this structure here, and then we had how the price came back up to test it, this previous structure, came down, came back up to test it on this spike, came back down, and now we're here again. And now we've actually reached this 4 hour 200 period on the 4 hour, and it's leveling off, which is expected, right? An interesting range. Let's see if there's any more obvious ranges. I would suggest this is a 4 hour range. See how we came down to test it here, down to test it here, tested it a couple of times here, and then we broke it to the downside. Really didn't, we had a little step here, not much, but we could be coming up 20,700, and I'd expect, you know, some resistance here. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and really 5 lines. In fact, this line, I'm going to move it down a little bit just to capture this little spike here. And this is the range. So this is it. We've done, the trend is bearish in a macro sense. And then it's, but right now, looks like we're maybe curling. You know, maybe we've come down, we've tested this low at 18.9, and we even peaked. It was a weekend, but we peaked down to 17.6. That was the actual ultimate low, sort of right back here. You can see if I zoom out, I can even put another line here. Just really where we broke it here. We tested it once, came back up. It's very easy on the, you know, on the 4 hour. I like the 4 hour. Maybe another line here. You can see how we interacted with it, structure here, and then we broke down and potentially even, no, I'm going to leave it like that. That's enough for now. And if I go down to the hourly, so we've got some ideas now of where the price, what the price might be doing. And it's nice to see a little bit of volume down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so this is, sorry, I'm going to go back up to the 4 hour. And I'm going to look for agreement as per the core pillars. This is the fixed range tool. And I'm just going to go from the sort of top here. This is a 4 hour. In fact, I should probably go here. No, in fact, I'll go from here. 25,000 being this local top down to this local bottom down at 18.1, and you'll see it's drawn this volume profile. Now if I go back up to the daily, you can see we're just talking about a very small range, and if I wanted to go backwards all the way to the top, the tippy top, back when Bitcoin was 69,000, and you can see the volume profile. Look at the shape. This yellow blue bars is where the volume is sat, and you can see we've been testing this point of, the red line here is the point of control. That is where the most volume interacted, and we are, funnily enough, bang on it. Let me come back down to the 4 hour. I'm just going to go to make this visible on the 4 hour. Oh, it should be visible. Inputs. Extend right. Okay. Okay. Apologies. You can see this red bar, the point of control here. You can see, sorry, we're at the bottom of this range. I'm trying to make it a bit easy to see. Oh. Right, there you go. So you can see I've actually drawn a white bar, horizontal line on the, on this point of control. Okay. Now the other thing I like to do on these, on this range, on this volume profile, is these blue lines. These are called the value areas. Value area low at the bottom, and a value area high at the top. And I'm just going to draw a couple of lines here. One on the bottom blue bar, and another one on this top blue bar. Right. And then I'm going to move this. Actually, you can see this profile above us around the 28 to 32 mark. That's the next sort of high volume node. And I am going to draw a line into this middle of this high volume node here. The peak, it sort of peaks here. You can see there's another high volume node here. So I'm just going to draw another line at this peak here. Now it looks a mess because of all these lines, okay? But this is because we're on the daily. I'm moving it to the bottom because we're coming up. As soon as we start hitting this node, there's going to be some resistance because the price likes to fill these gaps. You see these valleys between these peaks? This is where the price likes to move up and down. If I show you with my Ziggy Zaggy tool. So we've been in this range long enough, and you can see how we've developed, there are a couple of valleys, but you can see this valley here. We could end up filling this space here for a long time, between about 28 and 24. So that could be quite expected, that we bounce around in this range, filling it up, filling it up, filling it up. And that's, you know, that wouldn't be a shock. So let's go back to the 4 hour. That's the agreement, by the way. And let's reset the chart. Okay. And that's really it. So all we're looking to do now is play the range. Play the range. So if you're currently in Bitcoin, it's sat at 20,000. We're sat in a macro bearish. We know it's bearish. Excuse me. We also know that this candle peaked here. It's interacting with this line. Are we going to come back to this bottom of the range at 18, or are we going to go up? Well, the higher time frame would suggest that we're going to sit in this zone for a little bit till it makes a decision, and we don't know is the honest answer. But the longer time passes and the longer we stay in this range or at this area, the more chance we've got of it continuing in the direction that it's currently setting. So it's a nice push up, and now I actually missed this move by $7. I had an order sat here and I just missed it, but never mind. The market will always be here tomorrow. So I'm just going to zoom down to the 1 hour, have a quick look. There you go. So on the 1 hour, what's nice is that short term, so we're on the 1 hour, each candle's 1 hour, and the 200 period moving average has started to move upwards. So it's just turned blue and it's starting to point upwards. So this is nice, and it could potentially offer us some support as the price comes down. Because what we really want, let me put the brush on, what would be nice would be this blue moving average to keep moving up like this, and what we want is the price to start moving down like this, and then when it hits the average, we want to see a reaction to push it back up, and that would start to create an upwards trend like this, yeah, and we're forming structure, a nice shape, and this shape here, you know, it's on a much sort of over a bit more time would be forming, you know, a nice sort of upwards triangle, and we're staying in this structure until ultimately we move out of it up to 20,700. Okay, so again, I'm on the 1 hour, so this is very low time frames. If you're just getting started, 4 hour is your friend. You can see on the 4 hour, if I do a bit more realistic, what I'm doing to get this angle, I'm just looking at this sort of trend here, how the price moved up on these 3 or 4 candles here, just to give me a little idea of the time frame. So we could be looking, you know, right now we're still in this structure and we're at the top of it, and I wouldn't be expecting to break out of it. Let me just remove these drawings. Nothing moves up in a straight line, gents and ladies. We have ladies in the group now, gents, so be mindful of one's language. You can see here in this structure, this little shape, that we can sort of see this sort of up and down motion. and it wouldn't be shocking to perform this kind of before a break up to the 20,700 and back down to retest, and boom. That's the bullish hopium scenario. So when you talk about the move, if we move straight up, if we move from here, where am I? Yeah, if we move from here and we go straight up here somewhere, I would expect a steep correction, and we could end up moving even to lower prices if we get rejection higher up, or even where we are right now. Okay, so we want to see a little bit of time pass. Let's see what happens in this area here. But the ranges are important, and now we're just establishing, this is what I like to call an impulse candle. All right, so this candle, let me show you. Yeah, so this candle here with a nice bit of volume, impulse candle, just like this candle here, impulse candle, and you'll see it's red and it's gigantic, very big candle to the downside, and this is definitely an area I believe we will come back up to test this candle, because there's a lot of volume here, liquidity, a lot of traders. That's the agreement all along this big candle, red candle, lots of volume, big volume bars. Again, we had big volume here, very wicky, but you can see. And I would expect us to come down, claim some more of this range down to the 19,000 zone, maybe a little bit higher. If I take a fib from the bottom here to the top here, right, so a price, I'd be interested in taking along at 18,940. So if we come back down to test 19,000, I could be interested in taking along, getting into this move that I missed. I do hope some of you in the group got this move. Very nice. So yeah, so I'm going to wait for the price to come back down, test this structure here, and that could be a really good place to go long. So that's what I'm looking for. So this area right now, if I zoom in a little bit to the 1 hour, and I'm going to put in a little bit of some text. So this would be an entry. So my entry zone would be between 18,940 and 18,870. And if we break that, my stop would be underneath this resistance, or should I say support, hopefully support line below us around about 18,51619. Long, so I've got a long tool here. So that gives me a 4-to-1 risk reward. So for every $1 I'm risking, my potential is to earn $4. So if I start this trade with $100, if I lose the trade, I'm losing $3 using the correct setup, correct position size. And if I win the trade, I'll have made 12%. All right, or $12, which I'm happy to do. So that's where I am, gents. I'll leave this chart up on the 1 hour just so you can you can actually share this chart. In fact, I'll post a link to this chart in WhatsApp, so you can get yourself TradingView. It's free. Just get a free account. You don't need a paid account yet, and you'll be able to see this chart for yourself. Apologies for the mess. I will tidy it up before later on after this video, and I hope you got a little bit of knowledge from it. And for the new people, enjoy the content in the course, and I'll see you guys soon.